Hi, thank you for coming to our PowerPoint about our Level 1 fieldwork at Adoption Option. I am Megan Had.
And I'm Brianna Pupper. To just give you a little overview what our presentation is going to be about, we have the table of contents. So first, outcomes of the project, assessments used, materials researched and developed, an overview of the project, learning objectives, links and benefits to the student education, group connections, and then our references.
So the outcomes we had, Brianna learned a lot about this distinct population and their needs. She learned how to access various resources to aid the population and the value of networking and collaboration for group projects such as this. I learned how much goes into setting up meetings, spreading the word about those meetings, engaging the population and community, and advocating for at-risk populations. This placement taught me a lot about introspection and perspective on at-risk populations, as well as perspective on my home life. As a team, we learned how to work together and provide resources and ideas that benefit the project and the participants. In addition, we learned the importance of collaboration of other disciplines and how far teamwork can really take you. The population we worked with was Midland youth that signed up to participate in the program. This had a positive impact on the Youth in Transition program as we supplied activities related to their needs. These activities were implemented and received positive reviews from both the program coordinator and the clients served. So, as I said, we worked at Adoption Option this semester, and they benefited from us being here as it helped determine if this project is something that should be continued in the future. And it also benefited the organization by creating more connections within the community.
So the assessments that we used for this project included the Casey Lifestyles Assessment. We were able to score two participants, Colton and Sam, and we used the information in the data that we collected from these assessments to determine what activities and projects we wanted to do further on. And then we also did protective factors assessment, and this was just a general assessment that we used. We did it on ourselves just to gather more information.
So here's some of the materials that we researched. As you can see, there's resources for scholarships, for job applications, financial aid, kind of like the steps of how to apply for school and how to finance your education. We also researched resume tips, kind of a job search bingo, as well as the banking basics card game.
So those were all resources that we had researched, and these are resources that we had already made or made specifically for this project. So we have the Learning Maze, Housing module, Financial module, Self-Care module, and Leisure module, as well as the Coping Strategies handout. We weren't able to like put exactly the links to those in there, so you just have to click on them to see them. So feel free to do that.
This project benefited youth participants in the Midland community. It looks at daily living and self-care activities, maintaining healthy relationships, work and study habits, utilizing community resources, money management, computer literacy and online safety, civic engagement, and navigating the child welfare system. As you can see, there is a lot of bullets there. And this program is designed for participants who need help learning life skills to become self-sufficient and independent in these areas. The program was implemented at Adoption Option and in the community as needed by the participants. This is a 6-week program starting with a pretest, which is the Casey Lifestyle Skills Assessment tool. And that tool looks at all of those above areas. And based on the results, we modify those 6 weeks to teach skills that the participants will benefit from. So we pick the top 6 skills out of all of those bullet points that kind of have an overarching theme between all of the participants and really hone in on those. And this program was implemented by the program director with support from us as aides. We contributed by making recommendations, adding resource materials to a shared Google Drive, and holding weekly meetings to discuss project implementation.
Okay, to continue the overview of this project, we first start with the inclusion of plans. So the plan of this project was to take a program that was already implemented at this site and add an occupational therapy perspective in hopes of benefiting the participants. The plan involves scoring the assessment, then using the results to modify the interventions or community activities to meet the needs of the participants. We incorporated our OT perspective by suggesting this in our weekly meetings and making the activities more accommodating for our participants. Next, with the evaluation, we evaluate the participants based on their direct needs from the assessment, as well as, again, that shared information from the program manager at our weekly meetings. For implementation, we helped initiate the project by assisting with the planning of the initial meetings and the following activities. Unfortunately, we did not get to see the completion of the project as it was longer than our rotation at the fieldwork, but we requested to stay involved and kept in the loop to monitor progress. And then for our outcomes, the true outcomes will be evaluated at the end of the program when they take their post-test and compare it to their pre-test to see if the modifications were actually beneficial to this program. So we will keep you updated with that.
As stated earlier, this project was designed to help Midland youth learn life skills through activities created by us and the project coordinator. Although this project has been implemented before at Adoption Option, this was the first time an OT perspective was incorporated to teach life skills effectively. The project helped 2 participants learn how to do laundry by visiting a laundromat in Midland. The project coordinator showed them the location of the local laundromat and demonstrated how to use the washer and dryer. Additional resources, such as handouts, take home instructions, were created by us to support the activity. We utilized existing resources and identified new ones to support financial literacy skills. Some of the handouts included information on how to become a bank member and how to budget money based on needs. One participant was preparing to go to college, so we found resources on how to apply for scholarships, access FAFSA, and explore loan options. Additionally, we provided handouts with step-by-step instructions on how to apply for colleges and find the best fit for their needs. Overall, this project assisted both the project manager and the participants by facilitating conversations about life skills and providing handouts that really supported their needs.
So these are our learning objectives that we made in the beginning of the semester. So for me, I will learn how to facilitate emotional awareness and intelligence while in high stress emotional experiences with both the children and parents that I will work with. And I will learn how to work with different demographics and lifestyles and how to facilitate goal setting and excitement. Both my objectives were met. And then for Megan, she will identify 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses as a group leader via educator and group member feedback at the end of her 10-week rotation, and she will also demonstrate the ability to adapt activities and education to meet the needs of mothers in group settings as observed by a supervisor in 2 of 3 meetings. Both her goals were met. And then for our shared objectives, 2 individuals from the facility will verbalize safety awareness while in an OT-led training by 10 weeks. 2 individuals from the facility will verbalize self-advocacy for their needs to be to the OT students by 10 weeks. So all of our objectives were met.
Modifications that we would recommend include having a resource stockpile before beginning a new program so that activities are not being implemented on the spot. With prior knowledge and planning, these weekly activities may run more smoothly and with less stress on the program director. Adjustments were relatively easy to make throughout the program based on the client's needs, especially since there were only 2 participants. However, if a larger group were to participate, some adjustments, such as transportation, building space, and other things related to outside activities may need to be changed to accommodate the group's needs. This project made us aware of the depth of guidance that the youth in Midland community need to be successful. Simple resources that seemed like common sense were actually educational barriers for some of our participants. We became aware of how many resources and people in the Midland community were willing to offer their service to help these individuals. We would refer these clients to other resources such as counselors for both academic and emotional well-being. This would benefit them in making better choices and helping them get past some of the potential trauma that comes with being in the foster care system to make better choices and lead a better life with greater opportunities.
So a super awesome side project that we were asked to be a part of was called Group Connections. So this was once a month and the last Thursday of every month. We had the honor of joining this Group Connections meeting at Adoption Option. It was for 2 hours, and the purpose of this meeting was to connect parents and provide educational presentations based on the group needs. This meeting was guided for parents with children's ages 0 to 6 who need extra support and guidance. And it was really just to bring education to the parents and provide a network for them to have resources to connect to. And then our role for these meetings was to explain how OT services can help this population. And in addition, we wanted to educate individuals on topics such as proper developmental milestones and the role of OT in prenatal environments and ways to incorporate routines into homes for children.
This is a picture that we took at our last group connection meeting. Most of these beautiful ladies are from a doula center here in Midland. They are not medical professionals, but they do step in and help mothers who may be at risk for homelessness, who may be at risk for having their child taken from them, or who have already had a child taken from them prior to this birth. They are there for emotional support to help mothers who potentially don't have a spouse or the father present at birth. And their main goal is just to make sure that no mother births alone. They understand the importance of that social connection during such an intimate moment. And we learned so much about this, and it just really resonated with the OT in us.
We just wanted to thank you for watching our presentation. We hope you enjoyed it and learned about our project and what we did at Adoption Option. We had an amazing experience here and definitely would recommend it to future OTs.
These are our references. We listed the 2 assessments that we utilized during our time here. Thanks again.